Heading overseas now, Israeli authorities have set up roadblocks in Jerusalem in an effort to deal with the latest wave of violence. It's the most serious security crackdown in years, but it's enraged Palestinian residents and fuelled fears of further retaliation. There have been 2 more stabbings in the last 24 hours. Since the beginning of this month, 7 Israelis and 30 Palestinians have been killed, as Anne Barker reports.
Israel is taking unprecedented steps to deal with the latest surge of violence in Jerusalem. In the past 24 hours, police have set up roadblocks and checkpoints in mostly Arab East Jerusalem to restrict the movement of Palestinians around the city. It's the first time since 1967 such tight restrictions have been imposed inside Jerusalem. Arab residents, including Ghada Ishkarat, have condemned the security measures as collective punishment.
The only way to achieve the goals, the peaceful way of living between the Israelis and the Palestinians, is to establish the two-state solution, the state of Palestine and the state of Israel.
Israeli soldiers will also be deployed alongside police in key areas of Jerusalem, and the bodies of Palestinians who've attacked Israeli civilians will no longer be handed back to their families, but instead buried in an Israeli army cemetery. An Israeli police spokesman, Mickey Rosenfeld, says more than 3,500 police will be deployed onto Jerusalem's streets.
We have to try and focus on finding those potential terrorists who want to carry out attacks tomorrow morning, those lone wolves, sporadic terrorist attacks. And that's why heightened security, extra police officers on the street is the solution to the wave of attacks that we're going through here.
While there's no hard evidence these latest attacks have been centrally organised, Palestinians have used social media to highlight them. Mobile phone vision of the attacks and aftermath have been uploaded on Facebook, and Twitter hashtags such as Jerusalem Intifada have gained traction. Israeli officials have expressed fear that images of assailants could fuel further attacks. Israeli residents like Avinoam Afganim say they too are effectively restricted from free movement around the city.
It's almost empty here, so the people are a little bit afraid, especially the mothers for the kids going to the garden or to the school.
The violence, which began on October 1st, was partly triggered by Palestinian anger over what they see as increasing Israeli control over the Al-Aqsa Mosque compound in Jerusalem's Old City, an area which is also revered by Jews. The Palestinian president, Mahmoud Abbas, says Israel's actions threaten to spark a religious war that will, quote, burn everything. The Israeli assault on our people and its land and its holy places is escalating, he says. It's threatening peace and stability and is threatening to spark a religious conflict that would burn everything, not only in the religion, but also in the whole world. In a bid to calm the heightened tensions, Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu yesterday offered to reopen peace talks with the Palestinians.
I am interested in the immediate resumption of peace talks with our Palestinian neighbors with no preconditions, and it will be a difficult negotiation because in order to achieve peace, terrorism must stop and real security arrangements must be implemented on the ground.
But international mediators say there's a deep sense of despair among Palestinians frustrated at decades of failed peace efforts. George Mitchell, the US's former Middle East peace envoy, says all sides are set to lose if the violence continues.
So while there is a rage that expresses itself, people should keep in mind that there are no real winners from a huge outbreak of violence.